Uno, I'm glad you ate your food. Hey, happy Saturday. This is Forrest out in St. Louis. Just got back from an absolutely awesome event. Man, I hate the way the colors on these shirts lay. Just don't seem to fit right. Anyway, um, just had an absolutely awesome event here in St. Louis. We talked about Forex trading. We talked about business. We talked about the NFT that we're able to get into. Primarily, though, what we talked about a lot was more mindset than anything, which is absolutely awesome. Had our awesome Diamond, Mr. Sam Bean here in town. Was absolutely cool. Got to go out to dinner with him and seven other folks, six other folks. Yeah, there was eight of us at the table, so it's him and six other folks got to go out to dinner. Absolutely cool deal to be able to hang out and just get some nuggets. But and there was a lot of takeaways just from the mindset in the meeting. You had to be there. I mean, if you were an entrepreneur and you missed the opportunity to be in this meeting today and take away all the network marketing stuff and everything else, just the first 45 minutes was just really going deep into what you focus on and the things that you focus on. And one of the biggest takeaways for me at the meeting was, you hear a lot is like who you're hanging around with and who do you take your advice from and things like that, but it didn't even really click till I really heard it today. Is like, who are you, who do you see, who are you really paying attention to, right? Who are you truly paying attention to when it comes to whether or not you're successful, right? And that was a huge key. Again, it came up at dinner, sort of in the opposite folks, and this is what we're going to talk about: what you focus on, what you get, what you focus on, and basically is, if you're always bringing up the negative stuff in your life, and if you're always talking about the negative stuff, and if you're always worried about this or that or the other, for example, this NFT launch that we just did, right? I talked to, I had not a ton of people. I right now I've got about 2.5 people. 2 people made it on the list. One person's working on qualifying to get on the second part of the list because it closed. It literally closed in 48 hours. The NFT, and I don't know anything about NFTs, right? Other than what I've learned in the last like 48 hours, 72 hours. Um, big deal. But they opened up this NFT. They launched the NFT. They had limited availability for the NFT to get sort of inside the super top secret group. There's going to be a limited number of NFTs. There's going to be 888 of them. But more importantly, I can't even explain how this is going to work. But when you get the NFT and you hold the NFT for a little while, you're going to be able to, for lack of a better word, get interest on the NFT. In other words, it's going to grow and you're going to be able to receive uh, regular checks based on the amount of growth. Very cool. I don't quite get it yet. I'm still wrapping my head. Still trying to figure out how all the parts of the puzzle work, but I can see it from a 30,000 foot view. I know when they put the tires in the engine and the drivetrain and the seats and everything, it's going to be a truck, right? I don't know exactly what the truck's going to do or how it's going to look, but I see all the parts and I figure out it's going to be something really cool, if that makes sense, right? So I shared this with quite a few of my people that I know that say, yeah, I'm interested. Send them the information, send them the details. Guess what they had to do? They had to think about it. They didn't get in. They've missed an opportunity. Now, it doesn't mean that there's other bazillion NFTs out there they can get involved in or whatever. That's fine. But it's sometimes you're just at the right place at the right time, that you've just got to jump now and ask questions later, right? You seriously have to jump now and ask questions later, because if you say, I have to do my research, well, the research was getting included in the group, getting inside the Discord, and then asking questions once you're in, because it was free, right? And people passed up that opportunity to get on the inside. It's sort of like, hey, you want to come to the party? Hey, man, we're only letting so many people in the party, right? We're going to close the door here in just a minute. Oh, I got to think about it. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to like it in there, but just come in first. See if you like it. If you don't, you can always leave. I got to think about it. Oh, boom, the door's closed. Can I get in the party? No, we're full, right? So that's the idea. When you should have just came in the first place, looked around and see if you wanted to hang out. And if it didn't seem like something, and ask a bunch of questions, didn't seem like something you want, just leave, right? Free up a spot for somebody else, right? Wasn't going to hurt, but they missed an opportunity. I've got 11 people that missed out on an opportunity, which I think, based on the information I heard tonight, is literally could be, I don't know. Again, we'll have to see. Can't make any promises, but just from what I could figure out, it's going to be a big deal. Um, and then now I'm really excited about to learn more about that side of the market. So that was interesting. Another thing we talked about, of course, was trading and how the concept there. And we talked primarily about parents teaching their kids how to trade. And of course, Mr. Bean's got a couple of boys, a 12-year-old and a 13-year-old, who are now learning how to trade. Leon, who's one of our team members, has his son, his 13-year-old son, is learning how to trade. Actually, has a live account and has increased his account by 50%. Actually made $187. $187 here recently trading on a live account. He's 13 years old. Imagine if he stays and plugged in where he's going to be when he's 20. It's going to be absolutely crazy. But imagine the things of me growing up as a kid. I never had the opportunity when I was growing up being a 13-year-old for somebody to be able to take me and teach me how to do any kind of financial stuff, period. But here we are as adults, right? Here we are as grown-ups, as the opportunity not to just enroll in this education platform that we have, but bring our kids along with them and get them plugged in, right? Get them plugged into the platform, because this isn't an investment deal. It doesn't cost any money to learn. In other words, in the investment market, you got to pay tuition to get into the class, but you don't need any money to actually learn how to trade, right? You don't need to invest in any money, because you can use a demo account and you can practice until you get good, right? Which is neat. So you don't have to worry about, oh, I tried Forex before and it didn't work. That's sort of like saying, oh, well, I'm thinking about being a heart surgeon, so I tried it out. It didn't work. You've got to go to college first, or somebody coming wanting to learn martial arts and say, yeah, I went to martial arts one time and it really didn't work out for me. I got knocked out, right? Because you got to go to class after class after class after class after class. You got to learn all the katas and the blocks and the moves and the mindset and everything else. And then you rank advance and eventually get to the point where you can get in and you can spar and you can sort of see and telegraph the punches. That's like trading, right? You've got to get in and learn what all the little what all the moving parts are before you can say, oh, well, I tried it and it didn't work. What does that mean, right? That's like, I don't even understand that concept. I tried it and didn't work. Now I understand if you say, well, I didn't have the patience to learn how to trade. Okay, that makes sense to me, right? But in the long and skinny thing, if you're a parent and you're watching this, if you have kids, I would highly recommend you reach out to me. I'll walk you through. We'll get you enrolled in this education platform. I'll show you, we got 15 instructors, are all active traders. We'll get you through the beginner's basics. We'll show you how to get in there. I'll walk you through the back office. Matter of fact, our first live class again coming up this week is tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we move. There's live classes throughout the week. There's recorded classes. There's a huge community of us that are having tons of fun. And I can absolutely say it's the most fun that I've ever had in my entire 59 years of life. It was absolutely cool to see my 3 guests come out today and hang out for a while to see about learning how to invest, learning how to trade and look at the stock market. I think it's really cool that I can look at gold and silver and I can get in and learn how to trade silver. And I don't ever have to buy it. I don't have to like go buy gold bars and hide them under my sink or anything. I can literally learn how to trade gold and get in when, depending on the trend in the market. I've learned this stuff, how to get in under trend, do what the banks are doing. If the bank says step here, it's like walking through a minefield, right? The guy in the front, he's stepping, and he say step where I step. So I'm stepping where they step, doing what they do. I get the results that the banks get, right? I don't have to compete with them. I don't have to try and beat them to the punch. I can actually be second place and win, which is really neat. So the trading side. So let's talk about you get what you focus on, right? And one of the other things that came up in terms of focusing, it isn't just doing what the smart people do, but it's really seeing what they're doing, right? It's really seeing what they're doing and then following what they do, right? So seeing what they're doing. So like Elon Musk, paying attention to what he's doing and seeing what he's doing and doing what he does. The CEO of our company, seeing what he's doing and then doing what he does. Our upline diamond, I hate to use those words, but I'll say upline mentor, senior business partner, whatever you want to call him. He's a millionaire, seeing what he's paying attention to and doing what he's doing, right? And that to me is smart money concepts, right? That smart money concept is doing what they're doing. And on the other side of that, I've actually saw this twice, and this conversation came up both in a Facebook chat that I just read, and also, and let's see if the Facebook one is still up here. Yeah, it is. And I'll read it to you to put it, well, if it's still there, there it is. So the comment says, And hopefully, if you're watching this live, this doesn't offend you. I'm not going to use your name. It says, I need advice. What do I do with extremely toxic team member? Aggressive, doesn't take any advice very well, and gets very nasty if things don't work, aka getting results. I've said this isn't an overnight thing. One of the things, and this actually came up at dinner tonight before this conversation, completely two different people. Um, one of the people that we had dinner with tonight, she had somebody on our team, on the team that's been around a long time, and she's spending a lot of time focusing on this person not showing up, right? Not doing the activity and doing all this stuff. And what Mr. Bean says is, why are you spending time on people that aren't going anywhere, right? Focus on the people that are, because just like this one, what do you do with extremely toxic team member? Well, me, sometimes people will say stuff, and I don't know who put this in the chat. I don't know if the other person's actually being toxic, or if they're not acting the way I want them to act. See, key point there. Just because somebody doesn't do what you want them to do doesn't necessarily mean they're toxic. You might be the toxic one, right? Think about that, right? Just because somebody doesn't act the way you want them to act might mean that you're actually the toxic one, not them. So just take that into consideration as you're thinking about how stuff goes. And I learned that myself. A lot of times I'm like, okay, I need to really reflect on that for myself. Is if I get irritated with the way somebody isn't doing what I want them to do, who's the toxic person in that relationship, right? It's most likely me. So when you look at having relationships with team members and things, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on what that person isn't doing, or how that person isn't acting, or how that person is not showing up, versus you, right? Versus you putting your head down, going to freaking work and doing what you're supposed to be doing. That's reaching out to people, right? Looking for quality people that are going to be able to be in your business. I'm not talking about going down to the ghetto and saving poor people. That's not what we do. We find quality people who can make a business decision and move to the next step. If they need to think about it, give them some information, let it think about it, and move on to the next person, right? Move on to the next person. There's 7.6 billion people on this planet. There's thousands and thousands of moms with kids that if you reach out to them and say, hey, I've got a solution, I've got a business solution that if you engage in it, that you can actually share and show your kids how to use it. And the age of the entrepreneur, there used to be like Generation X, Generation Y, the baby boomers. Now it's going to be Generation Entrepreneur, because they're coming. A lot of these young people do not want to work for somebody else because they've seen what you've been doing for the last 40 years and it sucked and they don't like it. They want to do something completely different, right? So I want you to think about that. Is what you get what you focus on. What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on the people that aren't going anywhere, right? Are you focusing on all their crap and them not acting the way you want them to act, or doing what you want them to do, or they're not doing the things that you want them to do? Or are you doing what you're supposed to be doing in terms of finding people to reach out to ask them if they're open to your opportunity, to see if they want to look, so that they can make a decision, and that whatever decision they make, you've got to be okay with it. However they show up, you've got to be okay with it, but you've got to move on to the next person. And that's very, very important. And that's what I took away from that. So if I've reached out to you about this opportunity and you're not showing up, then that's on you. And it's okay. That's absolutely okay. You might find something that's better, that's cooler, that's easier, that doesn't really require any work, right? That maybe you have an easy button. Trust me, I love easy buttons. If I can push an easy button and make it easier, or skip a step, or do something easier to make stuff happen faster, I'll raise my hand right here on the spot. But if you found a vehicle that you can sit down in front of 15 active, experienced professional traders that are willing to give you their time throughout the week, and teach you how to trade, and get this for $129 a month, is Latoya, every day for 30 minutes. And 30 minutes, she's getting results from $300 to $400 to $500 in 30 minutes. Do you think she's worried about $129 tuition? No, right? Leon, he's did like $9,000 in a weekend. Does he care about a $129 tuition? No, he cares about educating his son so that 6 years from now, his son isn't worried about any of this stuff. So I really want you to think about it. What are you focusing on? You get what you focus on. Stop focusing on toxic people. Stop being the toxic person in that relationship. Put your head down, go to work. I know I am. February is going to be freaking fire. If you're watching this live and I haven't reached out to you yet, I'm probably going to reach out to you, knock on your door, and say, hey, do you want to check out this trading education platform? If not, you got to come and hang out with us, because it's absolutely probably the most fun thing I've done in 59 years of my life. And I can tell you this, it's going to set me and my wife up. I'm going to be 60 years old in like 11 months, right? In 11 months and 2 days, I'm going to be 60 years old. And I want to make sure that when I hit the 60-year mark, that me and my wife, we can go anywhere, we can do anything, and I don't have to worry about a retirement income. I don't have to worry about anybody else doing anything. And I would truly love to be able to help 1,200 families anywhere on the planet do the exact same thing. So if you're in the game for that, reach out to me, let me know. I'll definitely get you hooked up. I'll show you how the platform works. We'll get you enrolled. You can come and hang out with me, and we'll learn from the smart kids and do what they do, and we'll make some cha-ching. We'll see you later. I love you. I appreciate you. Jesus loves you. Absolutely nothing you can do about that. I'm on a mission to have no more empty refrigerators, make an extreme impact, and be an equity creator. I hope you are too. Love you. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.